Hey people, welcome to Bethel Brothers Hot Rod. This is Project Sam, and as I said before in the last episode, there wasn't a lot of time for some updates, so there's plenty of stuff to show you on this ride, and we got some work to do, so stick around, stay tuned. Stuff.
It's hot outside, so I don't want to go outside. So
yeah, you want to see how hot it is? In the direct sunlight, it's ouch. So we're kind of hanging out here in the shade, and we're gonna blow out the garage because it's dirty, but we have some work to do on Sam. We're gonna run some lines and junk, and as you can see, there has been some work done, especially over here.
I say we put it together and put fluids in it and start it.
Start it?
Yeah, there's no drive line.
Ugh. You guys wanna hear Sam run? Hey, don't get me sidetracked, man. That's gonna eat up a lot of tape. There's a lot of new stuff here. Some fabricated junk, some other sort of parts put on. Joey got this flex hose so I could hook up the inlet on my radiator, which is really cool. It worked out nice. And then with the leftover piece, I had to kind of rig one down here because these angles, dude, they don't make them. I also fabricated, my hood was kind of messed up. Let me turn the light on. So I put in this square stock and made a bracket, and I'm running my fuel line off it that's gonna go down into the carburetor and over here to my fuel filter and junk. I gotta run a gas line. What else has there been done? There's been some other stuff, but like I said, there's some hoses and other sorted deals. We gotta hook up these hoses on the bottom to transmission, so there's a lot of work to do. We got to kind of get going on this, especially if you want to do something as great as starting it. I don't know if... Shut up!
Problem with getting that, the van's really super slow.
Well, and the battery's dead and your wiring's kind of wonky, so we got to go back through the wiring. Something else that was, on the fabricated list is the gas pedal. Joe fabricated the brake pedal. The pedals used to go through the floor, so, and this one's made out of a motorcycle brake pedal.
Brake lever.
The shifter was hand fabricated. Joey called it a Star Trek Enterprise shuttlecraft. We did a custom wiring deal. It's an no-key setup, a big stereo, speakers behind the seats, new headliner. A lot of junk. I took apart the tailgate, refabricated the tailgate so it sat flush. Before it used to sit like up to here, and it was all cattywampus. I made this back end, cut out holes for the tail lights. These are fog lights, but that whole bottom end was made the hinges. The grill's got some custom junk too. We put a 51 Chevy grill in there, chopped it, and then welded it in, and then Frenched these fog lights. These aren't original to the Dodge. Neither is the bed on this. It's off a 42 Studebaker. So there's your update stuff. Now we got to get to work. After saying every cuss word in the book, I finally got the extended lines ran. I got to run them towards the back, and back in this corner there's a panel that was missing somehow, some way. So Joe's over here trying to make one. He's gonna use some square stock and junk. It'll be buff. Making the longest points first. Out of square stock.
Okay, so I cut my basic pattern, and then I'll just do this out of sheet metal and this edge out of sheet metal, and then gusset the center of my bracket.
Being that this is a 51 Dodge, you can't order these parts, and they're getting harder to find even in the junkyard. So
I'm gonna make this, and then we'll see if Dan likes it, if it's not too ugly.
Well, if it's beef, maybe you make two.
I'm gonna make two. That's why I'm making this one first.
And just hang that on the wall. Yeah. That's why there's so many fabricated parts on this, man. I just like the lines of the Dodge over the Chevy and the Fords, man. Everybody's got one of those. Alright, babies. Down there. Where that zip tie's holding, that's where my tranny coolant lines go into the frame. And they disappear. Until, right there. Cha-ching, I went through that old body mount. So that's cool, it's kind of hidden. That's kind of what I'm trying to do with the theme. I got some ideas to hide more of the wires and stuff, but I want it so when you look in there, you see a motor and not a whole bunch of spaghetti wires. This is the coolant return. I'm gonna run it over here and find some cool little something to hang right there. So until then, back to Joey's stuff. What the old part used to look like, and the fabricated one. In the center part there, Joe wanted to do a spider web, but I didn't think it was like possible for me to cut that out, so we probably could have, but it would have been a lot harder. So he came up with that one. But that's what they look like. I'll show you what they look like bolted in. Now once that's painted, you're gonna have a hell of a time seeing it, so this is the only time I'm really gonna be able to show you. Once it's painted, it'll kind of just blend in down there. What's really cool about Joe's design is on the reverse side, since that little gusset is mounted flush to this side, it gives a cradle back there for the wires. So it's double bitchin' and way buff. Thanks, bro. Alright people, that's gonna do it for today's episode. Kind of getting hungry, day's getting on. Thanks to Joe's help, I got 2 more custom fabricated parts. So thanks for tuning in and watching Bethel Brothers Hot Rod. Peace out, people.